Excuse me? And you can both see Zingaretti is on the phone behind his desk. When he sees you, he says, I'm going to have to go. And he hangs up. And he says, Gladys, it's fine. They can come in. Please close the door behind you. To what do I do? Oh, this unexpected pleasure.
I sigh, or at least make the action of sighing, even though no air really comes out. Look, Zingaretti, I'm gonna fucking level with you. I'm here to talk. There ain't gonna be no strong-arming, there ain't gonna be no threats, because honestly, I ain't got nothing to threaten you with, okay? So let's just talk, one person to another, yeah?
He raises his hands gently, as if to say, look, I'm no threat to you, and puts them down flat on the desk. What's this about? Where are your two friends? What is it? How can I help?
Ray's dead, and Maria, I ain't got no fucking clue. Probably dead as well. We're getting picked off one by one, because yeah, I know, who are we to come into your town, tell you lot what to do. We're fucked, sure.
My town. I just run a casino. I got nothing to do with what's going on here,
Zingaretti, can you get us a meeting with the Anak Baron? Yes or no?
You mean like a sit down?
Yeah. Call it whatever you want.
I can call her, of course, and...
Yeah, do that. Now.
Yeah, do that, and if either of us survive the situation, I'll say Zingaretti's okay when they send in the death squads.
Listen, I done right by you. I was asked to put the penthouse aside, and I did, and I get... are you too thirsty?
Zingaretti, look, if you're not following my advice that I'm giving you right now, it's going to hurt a lot. And you don't want that. You want to do what I'm telling you, and everyone is going to be happy, okay?
His eyes keep flicking to the doors. Yeah, sure. I'll call Miss Blumenau.
Good, you do it right now.
He picks up the phone, dials a number. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me again. The other two, they want to sit down with you. No, they're coming in all guns blazing right now. No, I don't think they're just gonna kill me, but I don't know what they're gonna do. He looks at the both of you imploringly. Okay. When and where? He lowers the receiver slightly, puts his hand over the microphone. She wants to know if you'd be happy meeting her on the boardwalk at the one of the cafes she frequents.
That's absolutely fine with me. This is her city. It doesn't matter where we meet. I know she'll have home advantage anyway. That's fine.
He puts the phone back to his ear. He says he doesn't mind where you meet. He lowers it again. She suggests maybe somewhere a little more private then.
No, we're gonna do a cafe. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
He nods. No, public is better, they say. Okay. Thank you, my love. Thank you. I love you. He hangs up.
Now, believe it or not, Zingaretti, you just did a fucking good thing. We're gonna be going now, And good news, you ain't ever gonna see us again. Either we'll be dead, or we won't be bothering you. So well done.
Thanks, I guess.
And it didn't even have to hurt that much. Before I leave, I have advice for you. Go a fucking pair. And I'm gonna leave.
I smile, reach into my jacket, take out $20 from a wallet that still has a little bit of loose cash, and just say, for the room.
He doesn't take it. He lets you flutter it down to the desk. Just stares after you. You know, there's a sense of this fear and a fair amount of dread, but a deep hatred for the two of you and your family. He's clearly lost a lot ever since he got into bed with the Hecata and before them the Giovanni. Whenever you come into town or people like you come into his casino, more trouble follows. So yeah, he's pleased to see the back of you. But he knows this won't be the last visit from your family.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, well, let's see. Hopefully she won't kill us immediately and actually let us speak. But I have a feeling, if I'm honest with you in this situation, with him it worked, but with her it won't. There's no point being strong or powerful here, because we ain't got nothing, not really. We only got the truth.
No, she's not going we can just mess around with. She is, the Baron. So, we're going to be, very kind and polite, and just tell her like it is.
True. Still, you're pretty good in there. I smile.
Me?
Yeah!
I didn't do much. You had the word most of the time. You did great.
Nah, you read him good. You knew exactly the kind of person he was, and you knew when to push when I loosened my grip a little. You knew when to do it. Good cop, bad cop, hey?
Right. Now that we're done patting each other's shoulders, let's prepare for this.
Are you heading straight to this cafe, or are you going to take any further preparatory action?
I'm fine.
Yep, I'm going to make sure I have all my stuff on me. I won't head straight there. I will take a route which I feel for a change is slightly more discreet, not just walking out of the casino. Again, not wishing to get knifed the second we walk out the door, so I will, at least this time, try and take a more subtle route, see if I can find like a fire exit somewhere just to walk through, onto a alleyway maybe, and try and see if I can take a subtle route to this cafe. As subtle as possible, at least.
Okay. And Natalie, are you going directly there? Are you splitting up?
No, I'm just going with him.
Okay. So, there's nothing stopping you from essentially using Google Maps to find the best way there. It's along the boardwalk, so it's the most frequented part of the city anyhow. The alleys, such as they are just gaps between buildings such as restaurants, bars, cafes, diners, casinos, and amusement arcades. So there's not really much of an unlit gap to speak of. But you can certainly circle around the building before you get to it rather than approaching from the front. In doing so, John, is there something you're looking for in particular?
Anyone following us? Anyone trailing us? Anyone watching from windows? I came here, I let my guard down. I was blind, I was being stupid, thinking safety in numbers. Now it's down to just two of us. I'm thinking like I normally do when I'm on a job. Anyone could be a potential target, anyone could be a potential enemy. So anything that just looks suspicious, because I am not getting caught off guard again.
Okay, John. I would like it if you could make a roll for me.
Certainly.
I'm thinking you could roll, let's see, do you have any Auspex, John?
I do not.
In that case, let's just go for wits and awareness, please.
That is 5 dice with 2 hunger dice.
Yeah, bear in mind how hungry the both of you are becoming.
4 successes.
Very impressive. As you're doing your circuit around the building, John, you are able to spy that there are people watching out for, you assume, you. They're only noticeable by how discreet they're trying to be. You see a guy walking around, walking a dog, but he's pretty much walking in a circle. And it doesn't take you long to see him repeat his maneuver, and occasionally he's just looking up, looking around, looking towards the cafe, stops, does a bit of a circuit again, comes back around about 2 minutes later. You can see someone else on their phone just standing, leaning against one of the lampposts on the boardwalk. But you can tell this guy isn't actually in a conversation. He's pretending to be, and just like the dog walker, his eyes go from the cafe to the street, to the alleys, even down to the beach. There's plenty of scouts, plenty of surveillance, even if it is just eyes and not anything automated. So, while you don't know if you've been spotted yet, there's certainly people on the lookout for you. The good news is there's so many people crowding around this place that anything overt would be noticed. That may be cold comfort if you were to get destroyed. After all, you can't be grateful for witnesses if you're dead. But it makes it less likely that the Baron is going to do something too explosive.
That's good. I feel more comfortable actually seeing them. I'm not gonna make out that I can see them, and I'm not gonna panic. I'm just gonna do my best to avoid them as best I can, occasionally just nodding to Natalie, sort of drawing her attention to them, but silently, and then otherwise just make my way to that cafe.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go there without much of an issue.
Yeah, you arrive at the cafe. It doesn't appear that the Baron has arrived yet. You don't even know what she looks like, but there's no women sat at tables by themselves, so taking a table, outside or inside?
I look to Natalie, saying, I'd normally say inside, but then if things go really bad, less exits. Outside, obviously easier to get away, but at the same time more open. Maybe people can be watching, people could be sniping. I don't know, what do you think?
Let's go inside. That's fine with me.
Sure. Let's go inside.
You go into the small cafe, a little boutique place on the boardwalk. Take up a table. A server comes over, immediately asks, would you like some coffee? Or iced tea?
Some iced tea, thank you.
And for you, sir?
Just a water, thanks.
From the bottle or tap?
From the bottle, of course.
Still or sparkling?
Sparkling.
Coming right up. And she leaves you with some menus so you can order some food. You don't get the chance to order food before a rather striking looking lady, over 6 foot tall, in a very attractive blue gown, far too ostentatious for this crowd and this place, her hair up, walks over to you, and she has 2 individuals either side of her, reminiscent very much so of the way Donatello carried himself, always with the entourage. The 2 people either side of her, one man, one woman, take separate tables. She sits at yours. I hope you don't mind. I assume you're waiting for me.
We were, and thank you for joining us at such short notice.
Well, this is my place, my cafe. So if you'd prefer it was emptied of the general public, I can make that happen.
Honestly, ma'am, you can do whatever you want. We're here at your pleasure. You're the one calling the shots.
I was very sad to hear of what happened to the nice man who I saw the other night. He was very polite, very friendly, a little bit too much business talk, I thought, but still friendly. Bit dry, actually, a bit dull and meandering, but I still thought he was a pleasant conversationalist. And then I found out what happened to him, and I was upset, very upset. I shed a tear. My 2 children.
We've both been very disturbed by what happened.
And now even more news, and I hope I'm not the bearer of it for you. His bodyguard, wasn't it? I saw her on the boardwalk.
Maria?
The way I hear it, she was on a plane getting the hell out of here earlier. I've got contacts at the airport, you see. They recognised her based on my description. Apparently she was abandoning the 2 of you to the 4 winds. So what does that leave us? I guess 2 little... What is it you're calling yourself now, Herr Carter?
Yeah. That's correct, ma'am.
So, what is it that I can do for you? Because I'm assuming you're not the clan diplomats. An iced tea, please.
As she speaks, I'm, keeping my head down, being very humble. That's actually very easy for me to do, but I do just kind of try and assess her words. How much do I actually believe? Did she really just conveniently figure everything out? Did Maria really just leave us? Can I get any sense if this is the truth or a lie?
You can roll wits plus insight.
4 successes.
You are able to discern, just by reading her language, the way she inflects, that she's not being entirely honest about anything she's saying. She knows a lot more, and she certainly knows a lot more about what happened to Maria. And given your close read on her, how successful it was, as your eyes scan down her in a way that she probably takes as some kind of appreciative glance based on her beauty, you can see there's what's unmistakably blood under her fingernails.
I don't quite know how that makes me feel, but at the same time, I expected it. I don't know what's happened to Maria. I don't think it was good. I definitely don't think she just left us, but maybe it doesn't matter. Oh well, fuck.
Ma'am, as you've noticed yourself, our group within the city is scattered, if not dead. And we are what's left, and we are realizing how vulnerable we actually are. And that's why we asked you to meet us today, and we are prepared to completely withdraw and inform you, and we have no intention of continuing this, whatever it is, investigation, so long as we are as weakened as we are. And we were hoping that you could help us inform the Hikara within the city that we have no quarrels with them, and we are actually prepared to nominate a fall guy and take care of his fall ourselves.
Really? You know, your family is supposed to be thicker than as thick as thieves, and you're just going to let them do what they want. Why don't you just get on the next helicopter off of the Three Bears Casino and fly back home then?
Because I want to kill the fall guy very badly.
That's the truth.
So you both want just an excuse to murder someone you don't like and, tie up all loose ends?
Well, let me add a little on it, because you're clearly a clever lady. A very clever lady.
I don't need your compliments.
I smile at this, a genuine smile, and say, I'm allowed to give compliments, ain't I, to someone who's...
I'm not saying I don't appreciate them, but I certainly don't need compliments from a man like you.
That's okay. I'll give them anyway. Like I said, you don't need anything from us. Hell, when we leave here, I know you can have us dead like that, and I click my fingers. And that's fine, because what we're trying to offer you is something beyond that. You see, you kill both of us, what'd you get? 2 dead bodies, you clear up, and then business goes on as usual, right? Except when they send more people, which you know they'll do. You know that we weren't the heavies. How could we be, really? Come on, we went down like that. We were sent because they thought, hey, one person's shooting off their mouth. When we don't come back, they're gonna go, oh, there's actually a fucking problem. And they're gonna send more people. Now you know what? For all I know, you're gonna fucking clear the floor with us again, and again, and again. But ain't that gonna be a fucking hassle? Every week having to be, fuck, here's another guy, here's another girl. Wouldn't it be better if it was just all dealt with?
But now what you're implying, you dirty-mouthed little man, is that I have got something to do with the Hekata in this domain. I made it quite clear to your predecessor that they were here before I took control, and their business is their business. However, if you're saying that you will do whatever you can within your power to stop my city from being threatened by your family, I'll make sure word reaches the Hekata in this domain that for whatever reason, whatever it was about running mouths, that you are going to leave them alone. And maybe that will mollify them. I don't know, because I don't know your business. I don't care to know your business. As far as I am concerned, it's just one big family feud, not to do with my level of politics.
But still disturbing your level of politics, isn't it?
Well, it is when there's bloodshed, I suppose, and I do not want for bloodshed.
No, neither do we.
That's the truth, if anything. And maybe you don't fucking believe me, but I'm telling the goddamn truth. If anything, we'd like to help you. And
please, young man, stop with the cursing. I may be of significant age, and I have heard many foul things, but it does not impress me, and frankly, I find it quite uncouth. You may think that just because she is of the movement, an anarch, that she is some kind of vulgar imbecile, but when you're speaking to a baron, have a little bit of respect.
I lean forward a little. I bow my head and I say, you're a smart lady. I'm being honest with you. How more respectful can I be, ma'am? I'm sorry if I have offended with bad choice of words. I'll stop. That's just because I'm trying to be as perfectly honest with you in every single way possible. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Well, if we're talking honesty then, who is it that you're intending on murdering?
Let me, explain that. Ma'am, you are a very confident woman. I can tell. Don't take that as a compliment if you don't want to. It's just a fact. I see the way you carry yourself, and I see how proud you are of yourself, and I admire that. And I'm sure that you want women to become more empowered. But let me tell you that this person that I intend on killing is not an innocent person. It's an individual who used his power to subdue and torture a young girl who didn't know any better. And And I will not accept that. And I want to see his blood disappear from his body and his body turn to ashes. And I want to be the one that leads the knife. And I don't know if I can find any empathy within you, or if you can relate to what I'm telling you. But trust me when I'm saying that this person needs to die.
You notice that there's a server hovering behind you, and she glares, "Not now." And the server turns around. She puts her hand on yours, and you can see that she's channeling a little bit of vitae around her body to create a modicum of warmth. You know she doesn't have to do that. You know that an act like that is enough to make some vampires burst into an outrage of hunger. But she does that for you. And she looks into your eyes. "I do know what you mean, young woman. I do. I am not a member of the sisterhood that protects ones such as you, but I respect them for the most part. I do. All I need is a name. Maybe I can deliver this fool guy, as you called him, to the both of you. And I think I can help manufacture a lasting peace between our groups. But you need to make sure that if you kill him, that your family back home in New York believes the words you say. Because I don't want the blood of some innocent on my hands. I don't want that put on my doorstep. I don't want to find out he's the child of some prince of Venice or whatever your titles are. Do you understand that?
I do.
So tell me, what's his name?
I look over at John, and I shrug, and I say, his name is Sammy G. I'm sure you know him.
Ugh. She lets go of your hand. Sorry. Didn't mean that to be dismissive, I mean...
No, I have that reaction too, don't worry.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be losing any day sleep over wiping that stain out. That's interesting, though. Because he is a Giovanni, isn't he?
He claims to be.
Well, I believe that's what the G stands for. Now, you two, members of the Hecata, are prepared to let what you're deeming as rogue Hecata do what they're doing at the expense of the life of who is ostensibly a loyal Hecata, because he is a thoroughly immoral piece of...
Yes. 100%.
Uh-huh. Really, you are just like from the movies, aren't you? You will just wipe out whoever's a problem without a second thought. Huh. Well, I can arrange this. I've decided. Yes.
Well, all we're asking for is that you inform the Hecata within this city, but if you want to help, we would gladly receive it, because as you can maybe see, we are a bit less than we were when we came here.
Yes, well, you upset the apple cart, shall we say. There's various forces in this city that were unhappy with an investigative crew showing up and trying to punish individuals, shall we say.
That's understandable.
There's a temple in this city, you see.
Temple?
It's made some kindred change their minds on various things, including members of your family. They found some kind of spirituality, and I believe they felt their spiritual course would be disrupted by representatives from home, such as yourselves. Now, I'm saying this in full honesty, having sealed this deal with you, and I do believe the deal is sealed. I will pass this message on to your cousins, and I will assist you with your Sammy G problem, because if I am being assured there will be no reprisals, I have no compunction against obliterating him.
Well, we thank you.
We do, but I'll be honest, and again, I'm being honest because I want this deal to work. I think we can make it that there won't be any reprisals this time, but the way the family's going, I wish I could tell you more, because I don't fucking know how. Sorry. I don't know enough. But what I do know...
I can at least protect myself. Excuse me. Jay, the man that accompanied her into the cafe, turns. This is Jay Sideface. He's one of mine. Jay, do you have your notepad with you? Yeah. Could you bring it over here for me, be a darling? Yeah, sure. Sideface sidles up to the table. It's a strange man, never looks at you directly, and puts the notepad down, gives the Baron a kiss on the cheek, quite unprompted. He is such a darling, does whatever you ask, really cares about the community in Atlantic City, you know. Now, I'm going to ask you, I assume you can both write. Sorry, I don't know the lack or depths of education in your family. I hear a lot of you are homeschooled. Jay, pen. He throws a pen over. Thank you. She looks at the both of you. Which one of you wishes to hold the bag, as they say?
I guess I'll do that.
Ah, wonderful, like a gentleman. I need you to write there that you, whatever your name is of the Hecata, confirm that Sammy Giovanni is the rogue element in Atlantic City. And so you have enlisted the assistance of the local anarchs in scrubbing him out. I need you to write that and sign it. And you may think this is old-fashioned, you may think this is a bit arcane, but I need some insurance, you have to understand, because if you go back to New York and you tell them, the anarchs killed Sammy, we tried to do everything, but they wouldn't stop, I need a piece of paper to wave in their faces.
I reach for a pen, and for a moment, I actually pause. I'm not sure why. Maybe part of me's wondering if I can actually fucking do it. And I suppose I do it. And how do I do it? I think, what was your original word, Joey? Your original word you gave was to look out for this Natalie. That was the truth. So, okay.
John, do you need me to do it?
I kind of look at you. If things go bad, and your name's on there, I think it should be me. It's fine.
Okay. Whatever you want.
And I sign it.
That's beautiful. Now, I understand you, Hecata, have very sharp teeth, but if you could prick your thumb and leave a print on that as well, just because I think handwriting experts are probably very hard to come by, whereas your family can no doubt trace blood through some sorcery or other. So, thumbprint, please.
Of course, and I suppose you'll also have your people have my blood and be able to kill me from wherever they wish. Yeah? Something like that?
I'm a member of the Clan of the Rose, darling. The only thing we use blood for is in some particularly avant-garde paintings. Don't mistake us for the warlocks in this city. The only Camarilla holdout left in Atlantic City.
Well, in the interest of honesty, if you want to know, they're the people who the loose lips were talking to.
Well, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
I do wonder what will happen if those loose lips keep flapping once Sammy's gone. But I suppose that's a bridge we will have to cross.
Well, as I was saying earlier, I start signing, and I then prick my teeth and put the thumbprint down. As I was saying, and you know what? Maybe you already know, because you're clever. But I'm just going to say it anyway, because maybe you didn't. What's going on in the family? These rogue elements, maybe they'll be fine for the next couple of years, maybe 10, maybe 20. But eventually, things are going to go down. And I don't know what. I mean, we're closing in rank. We're doing stuff's happening that ain't happened before. I don't think the Giovanni are going to be the ones calling the only shots anymore, if you get my meaning. They're going to be out alone. And I think there'll be a problem for you. If I were you, I'd either A, tell them to skip town, or if you do care about them, if you don't, just tell them to leave. Because in the end, they're going to bring you trouble. One way or the other. Just saying.
CJ, you're not the only one that cares about the community. Yeah.
So, how do we carry this out exactly? You mentioned that you wanted to deliver Sammy to us. We talked about a hotel room because I can honestly easily get him a place private if I wanted to. But how do you assist in that?
Well, quite frankly, if that's all within your power, if you can get him alone and kill him without his ashes getting on my hands or the hands of
I didn't say
those...
we could kill him. See, that's my next proposal. That would probably be where we might need help. I believe that where we might need help the most is I know Sammy, and I know that Sammy will bring some men, and they will linger around this hotel apartment complex wherever the fuck we want to meet up, and keep an eye out, and if he flicks a finger, they will be right on up, and we're fucked. So what you could be helpful with, if you want to, with your resources, is keep an eye on the area. Make sure that this place we choose to stay in does not get overrun by Sammy's men, so we get time to kill him.
I have an idea. Yes, I have an idea. I would prefer that no assassinations took place in one of my hotels. I mean, there's too great a chance of people hearing, or witnesses seeing. Less likely, but you never know when someone might fall down an elevator shaft, do you? I have recently, well, within the last couple of years, but not really acted on it, come into the ownership of some beautiful villas just slightly down the coast. You know, enclosed, nice fences, a place to park your yacht, that sort of thing. Used to be owned by some uppity stockbroker or other who blew his brains out, sold off cheap. Can't remember his name, it was in the papers at the time. Either way, I have one of those villas. I can, shall we say, rent that out to you for the night. You invite him there. It's closed off. I also know the property, which means I can situate some of my people around it. And then you can do what you need to do without the danger of witnesses or indeed bodyguards interrupting.
Well, that sounds great. Sounds perfect. That'll be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
CJ, great, perfect, and wonderful. Yeah. He doesn't say much. But I find that when he does speak, he just fills me with a warm darkness.
If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, just out of interest, this, religion, do you follow it? What even is it?
Oh gosh, no. The idea of spirituality, frankly, leaves me cold. But a number of anarchs have flocked to the banner. I can't even give you the vaguest of details, really. Other than the fact they have been very persuasive. You have to wonder whether there's something in the blood that they give to people that go there. Well, I'm not saying that people are becoming bonded by attending the temple. After all, why would they attend if they were being bonded? But it's an interesting one. The thing that I will say, the thing that I cannot begrudge, is whatever this cult is that's set up shop in Atlantic City, they are doing a very good job of keeping the peace.
And at the end of the day, it's all about keeping the peace, ain't it?
Well, if the money keeps flowing and the Masquerade keeps holding, as far as I'm concerned, it's been a good night. And don't get me wrong, and she looks at Natalie, I do sympathise. Hell, young woman, I empathise. I have been where you are. But I do gain something if Sammy Giovanni loses his assets in this city. Whatever he loses, I gain.
Makes sense. Hell, I can honestly tell you we didn't even know he had anything in this city.
I'm just happy if he dies, to be honest with you.
Well, let's set that up. Why don't you make yourself beautiful for whatever honey trap you've got planned? I will make some calls. I will give you the coordinates to get to the address, to get to this villa, and well...
another request, ma'am, if...
Another request? In that case, another iced tea, I think.
Natalie looks down herself, being fully aware that she does not look very, fantastic. I'm not exactly, good at being attractive. I live underground most of the time, so I don't really understand how you do it. I was wondering if maybe you could give me a tip, or seeing as when I look at you, you look amazing. I don't, obviously, so maybe, I don't know if you could help me out.
She smiles at that. See, and she looks at the piece of paper. Mr. Putanesca, thank you for signing your actual name.
Yeah.
A true compliment is one you can feel in your heart. Young woman, I feed often. I feed well. And therefore, I let the blood inside me fuel my beauty. I indulge sufficiently so that I don't have to look like I've crawled out of a sewer or morgue. And I'm not trying to insult you, my dear.
Oh no, I know. It's a reality. Don't worry.
I hold it no different to someone who has not had 3 square meals in a day for the last few days, you know? I just simply drink and drink and drink. And as our kindred population in Atlantic City has reduced, vessels have been far easier to find. All one has to do is use a little bit of intelligence. Now, in terms of appearance, just visually, she looks down at her gown. Well, money breeds appearance. It's useful to know what the best styles are, of course. You can have retainers to tell you that kind of thing, or if you're of a mind, you can read the latest fashion magazines. I saw a wonderful interview in GQ with that model, Dolph Shung. He had an excellent point of view on what people should be wearing these nights, specifically for nightwear. And so I took some advice from that, but I suppose main piece of advice I have to give to you is, and she puts her hand on yours again, but it's cold now. Don't let the bastards, the male bastards, grind you down.
Ma'am, that's all wonderful advice. I was looking for something that could maybe work for tonight, and not as much as a long-term thing.
Oh, my dear, I'm sorry.
No.
I thought you were coming to me for fashion advice. Oh, I feel quite the fool now.
No,
Jay,
don't
did you
be.
hear that? I feel quite the fool, Jay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
don't. I take it to heart, and I'm probably going to apply that when I get back underground, even though it's underground. I just wanted to know if there was any boutiques that wasn't maybe that expensive. I don't have much money with me that I can buy something that's different than what I'm wearing.
Well, I can see that before you were embraced, you were a very beautiful young woman. The lucky thing is, the fortunate thing, the blessed thing about our condition is every single night we have the chance to reset ourselves. We are, after all, only as good as our last night. Therefore, that is how you must look at yourself. You are the person you were on the night of your embrace. Think of how you looked then, young woman. Think of how you looked. How did you dress? How did you dress so that you were confident, that you were full of life, where you still felt you had a full life ahead of you? If you can think of that, if you can remember exactly what you were wearing, well, I think I could point you in the right direction. Can you? Can you remember what you were wearing?
If you can point me a place where people who go to clubs a lot and do not dress in full clothes, I suppose. What I'm trying to say is I dress like a slut.
Oh, please. Too many people have told you that, when all you were doing was accentuating your beauty and feeling confident. So don't ever describe yourself like that again. But I do know what you mean, and yes, I can direct you to the local Hot Topic or something like that. I can find a store for you, not to worry.
Thank you, ma'am.
Side face, Jay. Yeah. Can you get this young woman to a Hot Topic or TK Maxx or something like that? Yeah. He'll take you there. Joe.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to get you to this villa so you can set up sentry guns and do other macho things like that.
Are you offering sentry guns?
No, I was being facetious, but at least you can get the lay of the land.
Sure. And I know you don't care, but thank you.
I don't, but I appreciate it. Jay holds his hand out for Natalie.
I turn around and look at the Baron, and I smile and genuinely, and I say, "Thank you, ma'am. If we do not see each other again, I just want to thank you." for your help.
Young woman, I don't even know your name, and I know that you're going places. We'll see each other again, not to worry. Oh, and don't worry about Jay. She leans forward. I had his balls cut off a long time ago. He's practically a eunuch.
Oh, do you still have them in like a jar?
Heavens, no. I should have maybe worn them as earrings, but that's a little macabre for Atlantic City, I feel.
Oh, right, yeah. But
yeah.
Great.
Go on, off with Sideface with you. Come on, Joe. We've got a villa to scout out.
I nod and stand, not entirely feeling sure if we have done well here or not, but I know that we're not dead, so that's something.
She has a word with the woman that accompanied her in, quietly. The woman nods again, puts her phone to her ear and walks out. You, Joe, head off to the villa with Baron Blumenau. She has a driver take you there. As you're travelling, she tells you the story as much as she remembers it of some money laundering, stockbroking type who owned a whole raft of these coastal villas, and when he was caught out or threatened, he decided he would take his life rather than face the music. She finds the entire story amusing, and then you pull in. But as far as I know, he never actually saw this one. He was just buying these things to sell on or probably rinse money through them. It meant that when they came to be sold, they were pretty damn reasonable, and they make for a nice haven in a pinch.
Right. I nod, not maybe appreciating or even understanding some of this history. However, I am really trying to be respectful and really trying to be earnest here, because I feel like a pawn on a chessboard where the player's still debating whether to sacrifice me or not.
As you step into the villa through the gated enclosure, she puts her hand on your cheek. Joe. Can I call you Joe?
Sure.
Joe. Don't worry, you're not my type. But do you intend to hang that young woman out to dry, Joe?
I lean back a little. I look down on the floor, and I actually say, no. If anything, I'm wondering if I'm going to get killed over looking out for her. I gave my word to someone, and I keep my word when I actually give it.
Well, you and I, more or less, have that in common. If you are going to make the efforts to protect her, then the least I can do is make some efforts to protect you.
Oh?
One of my bodyguards. I got her to call the other members of your family in Atlantic City, at least those reachable by phone. Some are utterly paranoid these nights.
Right. What'd she say?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they said. I've not spoken to them. But the message was essentially what you told me. But they do know where you and she will be tonight. Not because, Joe, not because I intend to hang you out to dry, but because they have no reason to believe a single word I say. You have to understand, Joe, that I want nothing but peace in Atlantic City. And they probably think I would say anything to get them to quieten down. I think, well, once they become aware of what you're going to do to Sammy Giovanni, I think they will see you as like them. And whether they see you as a problem or someone to induct into the fold, I guess, is on them, really, isn't it?
I guess it is. I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing, if I'm honest. Like I told you, I ain't making threats. I don't know what's going on with the family, but things are changing.
Well, as I say, your family business isn't my business, but do be assured they're probably going to want to see you before you leave the city, so once your business with Sammy is done, stick around in the villa.
Fair enough, I can't exactly say no. And thank you for telling me.
My pleasure. As I say, I like to keep to my word. I told you I'd bring you here, and I told them that I would help them out with the people that were trying to hunt them down. So as far as I am concerned, I have fulfilled both ends of the deal, and providing everything goes well, I stand to make a great deal of profit.
You do. If I'm honest, that was why I was thinking to come to you in the first place.
Well, your friend, your predecessor, did, and sad to say, at the time, we weren't really sure of his intentions. And also a message needed to be sent.
Of course. We underestimated the problem.
Yes, and when I say we, of course, I don't identify myself among your family, but I do identify myself as the peace-loving kindred of Atlantic City.
No, I understand. And it's your town, your turf. I'm sorry that this all has been a problem in the first place.
Oh, the fact that you're apologising for things completely out of your control is quite pathetic, so please don't. But have a look around the villa and make yourself comfortable. Find a closet to hide in to watch as Sammy and the young woman do whatever they're going to do. And I guess make sure that your gun is loaded.
Of course. I guess I'll be snooping in the shadows then.
I guess you will. I'll be out in the car for a little while yet, but I'll be heading off soon, don't worry.
And I begin to move away. Part of me seething with just a little bit of anger, knowing that even though she likes to present herself as this peacekeeper, she's just as dirty as the rest of us. And the only reason she's getting away with this is because she's the cat and I'm the fucking mouse. I hate these fucking politics. But hey, this is the only choice I fucking got. The way I see it in my mind, I'm thinking I could just say fuck all these people and die. Or live. And at least this way I'm keeping the word I gave, which was to look out for Natalie. Which is funny, because I think to myself, at this point, entering the rooms, looking through cupboards, looking out the windows, seeing what exits there are. Why the hell have you gone to all this trouble? Even if it is just over a word. What is it about Natalie? Is it that she reminds you of someone else? Yeah. Yeah, I think to myself, that's exactly what it is. Stupid, stupid boy. Whatever. I'll begin to assess the best location, the best exits, and of course, even though I have a loaded gun, anywhere I can break off a good bit of wood.
There's certainly chairs. This place is pretty furbished, or was furbished by the last owner and never emptied. So yeah, you can make yourself a ready steak and even sharpen it down to size, quite happily. The villa itself is single level, but it's quite long, is a U-shape around a small dock. There's no yachts docked, presumably because no one lives here, but there's plenty of exits. There's essentially one that leads out onto a small patio, one that leads to the car park with the way you entered, and another that leads to a pathway that goes to the marina. So, yeah, you're not completely trapped.
Well, I still do my best to calculate, from upstairs at least, the most likely exits someone might take if they were trying to get out of this building, and just give them a little lock, if I can, lock them, just latch locks, that sort of thing. Don't want to make this easy for Sammy G if he starts trying to run. I also know that whatever happens, I'm going to need to be quick. The gun is a distraction, not the method of execution. Against one of my own kind, it's the knife and the stake. I've done this once or twice before. It's not easy, but doable if you move quick.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying where we played The Family, a Cults of the Blood Gods chronicle for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Cults of the Blood Gods is published by our friends at Onyx Path Publishing. Our storyteller was the gentleman gamer Matthew Dawkins, and we were also joined by Jason Carl, Klara Herbøl, and Bianca Savazzi. The music was created by Atrium Carceri, featuring many collaborations with other artists from their label Cryo-Chamber. Check them out at cryochamber.bandcamp.com and their YouTube channel for more amazing dark ambient. If you want more Vampire the Masquerade content, don't miss out on our chronicle No Man is an Island, as well as The Sacrifice for Chicago by Night. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, and David, for their generous support. And we would of course like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and see you soon again.